I credit our group, not just, I think myself was more watching how well our group orchestrated it. Our assistant GMs, Travis Schling, Kirk Lacob, and the relationships we had with Minnesota. Larry Harris, one of our scouts, is close to Flip Saunders, so it all happened very quickly, but once we were able to obtain that pick, we then tried to move back a little bit, which we were successful to do, and get off some of the money we spent and a player we actually took on. So it all happened pretty quickly, but we're happy with the result.
Why did you take Nedovic? What do you like about him?
Well, Lowell, we like a lot of things about him. We like his size. One of the things we like in all our players, one of the things we covet and value is size at your position. And we think a 6'4" point guard that's athletic and can attack the basket is a great asset. Those are some of the major reasons why we liked him. We like his youth. He just turned 22. We like his decision making. Played a lot in the pick and roll. I don't know if people have had a chance to see some of his highlights. Attacks the rim. We've got a lot of great shooters on this team, and that are very good at that. But we felt like we needed another player that can attack the rim, and he's very good at that.
Bob, in all honesty, what's the chances of him making this team?
Oh, we think he's going to make the team. I think we have no doubt that he'll make this team. When he'll come over, we'll have to look at that and work that out. He's got a European contract, so that'll be a negotiation with his European club. But as far as talent goes and ability to play in the NBA, he has it. How much opportunity he'll get will depend on what kind of roster we go into the season with. But we have every expectation that whether it's this year or next year, he'll be on this team and a contributor at some point. That's the hope.
At what point in the round did you think you should get in, and at what point did you think you could get in?
Well, this was an interesting draft. It's very unique and rare, Ray, to be able to get a first-round pick without giving up a first-round pick or a player. I'd have to look back at the recent history, but to get in the first round and to get in at 26 without giving up a future first or giving up a player is a unique opportunity. So we jumped at that opportunity and realized this was a rare moment to grab a first-round pick, and we took it. And we realized that probably halfway through the first round, about pick 15, 16. What you do is you're often looking at teams that have multiple picks, and when Minnesota made the trade with Utah, we saw that they were then having 14, 21, and 26, and that's a team that likely is looking to move one of those picks. So we immediately got on the phone with them, and we evaluated what the opportunities were to get 21, to get 26, and ultimately worked out a deal to get 26. But it happened at about the 18th or 17th pick that we acquired 26.
Bob, what made you not get a big and feel a need? Was it that you really liked Nedovic, or you weren't that high on the bigs available?
Well, we feel like we have a need also in a guard that can attack the rim. We feel like we still have a need at the big spot as well. We feel like we can fill that hopefully in free agency. But we just felt like this was a talent we couldn't pass up on. Like I said, size at his position, upside, youth. We looked at some of the bigs, to be fair. I think when we evaluate the draft, the goal, like I said, is to draft players that are big for their position. And we felt like he fit that mold. Size is paramount in this league, and we're trying to be a big team and big at each position. We felt like Nedovic was a better talent than any of the bigs on the board as far as upside. And also, like I said, a guy that attacks the rim at his position was something that we felt like we could use.
Also given understanding that he might not be here this year, but does this affect what you might do with Jarrett Jack, what you might be able to offer him, given that this guy's a point guard, a playmaker, somebody you think is going to be on this team?
No, Tim, I don't think this will affect the pursuit of Jack. I think we'll pursue him with the same vigilance that we would have if we hadn't made this pick. So we thought Jarrett Jack did a great job for us, and we're going to attempt to re-sign him. What we really thought here was one of the things that we talk about amongst our organization and Jerry West, one of the things you'll hear him say often is you have to acquire assets. I think this organization over the last 2 years has done a tremendous job of acquiring assets. enough that we really could have gotten quite a few picks in this draft should we have chosen to do so. We feel like as an organization we've assembled a team of young assets, and tonight we were able to add another one of those. And those are the people and players in the NBA that people covet the most. Young, talented assets. And that's the model we believe in, and that's the approach we follow. And we think we added one of them tonight.
Can you talk about how wild and crazy this draft was? It looked pretty wild from here. Was it that way in the back?
Yeah, this was every year. It's a lot of stress. It's a lot of fun, but this was a different one. And I think what could you glean from this draft? I'm not sure. I mean, maybe people. There was a ton of movement. There was a lot of teams looking to make deals. A flurry of deals. I'm not sure. We haven't looked back how many deals were actually made in the first round. It has to be one of the highest in recent history as far as how many trades were made in the first round. At least a quick reaction would be something like that. But you know, I was talking to one of our scouts about 15 minutes ago, and he said, you know what our group did a nice job of is you could not have possibly transacted all the things that we did without the help of our entire front office and scouting staff. If I was trying to do all these things by myself, we could not have done this. There's no chance. I mean, we have two guys on the phone, whether it's Travis on the phone with Minnesota or one of our scouts on the phone with Phoenix as we make these things happen. Oklahoma City, it's a team effort, and that's the only way you accomplish what we accomplished, where you're able to get a first-round pick for what we think is not a ton of cash and a future second. It's just a very rare thing, but it was a group effort and a team effort.
Can you say when you go to 26, are you thinking maybe get somebody there, or is it strictly you're definitely going to move back? And was there someone else that was on the board with him? You said you took a look at, you had a couple guys spotted. And did he go before 30? Did he go in that process there?
It's a good. Well, I'll lay it out for you guys because this is kind of an insight into what transpired. We liked Nedovic when we got 26, but we felt like we could maybe move back to get Nedovic. And this is why relationships matter, and this is why teamwork matters. When we were able to acquire 26, we looked at each other and said, should we try to move back, right? That's what we talked about. Maybe we don't need to take Nedovic at 26. So you get on the phone with his representative, because you know his representative, and you say, where do you think Nedovic is going? And he said, we think he starts at 31. We think that's where he starts. So in our minds, we have a little bit of room to move back, and you have to trust who you're talking to. And we did, because you have relationships. And we were told, if you get to, you can go as far back as 30. So immediately then we started working on what could we then get to move from 26 to 30. We got a good amount of financial relief. We got off a player that we had to take on. So in the matter of 15 minutes, we were able to save the organization a pretty good chunk of money and still get the player we wanted. And we were able to do that because we had the knowledge that the player we wanted would still be available at 30. And also we acted on the knowledge that that player that we wanted might not be available after 30. And we did hear, whether it's true or not, that there was a decent chance the player that we picked, Nedovic, might have gone with the next pick. Never know for sure, but pretty good source.